Greetings, everyone. So my name is Jason Choi. I'll be teaching 544 Advanced Software Process for this semester here. Just to start off with a little bit of myself, I'm currently a principal software engineer at CBS Health. I've been there for about a year now. Previously, I worked 5 years at IBM. And interestingly enough, I got that IBM job right after I graduated from this program you guys are in. And as Dean Barua said, when I was in the program nearing my graduation, you guys probably may feel the same thing, but you're a little bit anxious. What if I don't get a job after I graduate? I'm sure we go through all those thoughts there. But because we have some connections with a lot of good companies, at the time, it might have been a lucky thing, but IBM at Costa Mesa was looking for students. And in fact, some of the engineers there who were looking for employees were also graduates of the MSE program at Cal State Fullerton. So they came, and they're like, hey, why don't we look at Cal State Fullerton? We sent out an email, like, let's get on that. And luckily, I got the job there. So, things happen for a reason. You guys are here. I'm sure you'll get very similar opportunities as I did. When I decided on coming to this program, it took a lot because I was already working full-time for about 4 or 5 years at a previous company called Parasoft. And you think you're doing well. I was pretty happy with my job. Do I really need to, waste they call it opportunity cost. So if I'm not working for a year and a half, I'm giving away that salary, and then I'm paying tuition on top of that to come here. And you might think you're not guaranteed, but it was, I think, one of the best things that I did. And I'm coming back here to kind of share that experience, also teach a little bit about what I've learned, not only in the program here, but also as a industry software engineer. And I total about 12 years in the industry. Some of you may have more experience than me, I don't know. But I'm here to share my experiences, tell you a lot of good things about the program, and at the same time, deliver the information that I need to help you guys succeed. Actually, my latest degree is an MBA at USC. I went back to school again. So no more degrees for me, I promise. I'm already in debt for my last MBA tuition, so, as you work in the industry, you might come back for more education. Maybe many of you are already thinking that way, right? Maybe I need to pivot, or some of you just started your job, and maybe your company offers higher salaries for a degree. Whatever the reason is, I think you guys are at the right place. Be sure that you'll be getting quality education. This is actually only my second semester teaching. Last semester in spring, I taught an undergrad course and also software measurement, which is, I believe, still part of this MSE program. Right? But I'll be teaching 544 this semester. So we have 2 sections. Again, it's self-paced. As Dr. Choi mentioned, everything's on Canvas. So I suggest you get familiar with Canvas. It's still very intuitive. You won't, especially if you guys are software engineers, you'll understand how to navigate through it. But if you have any questions, please reach out. Lectures are pre-recorded. Maybe some of you already saw my introduction video. I try to show myself on those videos because it's online. You won't see me if you just hear my voice. It might not be as engaging. So I set up a green screen at home, and you guys should see me at the bottom left of the video. Okay? So please do watch that. I go through the entire syllabus, grade breakdown, what kind of projects you'll be doing. If you do have any questions on that, do please email me. The due dates, otherwise noted, will be due every Wednesday. When I did my MBA, it was also a fully employed asynchronous online. So what I found that was, I usually do my work on the weekend. But if I have any questions on the weekend, I still have to reach out to my professor on Monday or Tuesday. Right? So I still want to give you a day or two to kind of complete that work so that by Wednesday, hopefully you get enough information to complete that work. And for those of you who are early starters, I do post it on Thursday. Post the next section on Thursday. And if a lot of you are really early starters, I might post another module, 2 modules a day. Okay? But that's for the class to decide. And one of the worst things I had was come Friday, all my professors at my MBA posted everything to Canvas, and I got maybe 20 notifications on Canvas, and that already ruined my weekend. So I don't want to be doing that. It's self-paced. I don't want to pressure you guys. Work-life balance, work-life-school balance is very important. So let me know what I could do to help you guys out. A little bit about the course, and again, a lot of this I explained in the introduction video, but just reading verbatim here. This course aims to provide guidance in evaluating, establishing, and practicing a successful SDLC process. And additionally, we'll touch upon improving, maintaining, and addressing the pain points of such processes by incorporating theoretical and practical knowledge of the subject matter at hand. So, for those of you who are working, you guys are familiar with SDLC, requirements, the testing, the deployment. We're looking at the whole process. They're not specifically looking at a certain part of the process, but in general, what we could do to build that process, maintain it, and execute it. And broader topics to be covered, and subtopics to come under these broader topics: software process maturity, repeating, defining, and managing the process. But I'm sure we'll get into a lot more details when we start the class. Additional material considerations. As you'll see in the syllabus, I'm using the same textbook that I used when I was in this program, and it's quite a little bit old. Maybe older than some of you. So it doesn't have these modern technologies that I've experienced in the industry, and probably a lot of you already have. So SAFe, Scaled Agile Framework, it's an agile framework that's scaled to an entire sub-organization or a bigger organization. DevOps, SecOps, security operations, those are all part of the CI/CD process nowadays. Infrastructure as code. You guys are familiar with GitHub, checking into GitHub your configuration and your system property files so that you could, those are management configurations, or change management. And then testing methodologies, briefly touched upon it. TDD, test-driven development, test-first approach. And also BDD, which is behavior-driven development, where you write your test cases in human-readable language. So they use a syntax like if, when, then. So if I do this, then this happens. When I do this, then I check something. So it's more readable as opposed to reading unit test code, for example. And then there's a lot of focus in the industry nowadays around CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment, and we'll talk a little bit about modern tooling, some of the workflows, and integrations that you could be doing to bring to your workplace, to practice on your own, to have that under your belt. My personal teaching goals is obviously cover the academic stuff. That's very important. And I say that as a former student of this program. The academic stuff you cannot skip. Some people might hate it, some people might hate reading textbooks, but it's very important because they're the foundation of your expanded knowledge. And especially, it helped me when I was doing my interviews. If I could talk a little bit about the academic stuff, they think, they know that you know what you're talking about, right? You can't just be throwing in flash words like, oh, GitHub. I know GitHub, but that doesn't really mean much, right? So, but augment that academic material, real-world experiences that I could bring. Familiarize students with industry standards and practices, what I'm doing at my work, what I did at my previous work, and maybe share what you guys are doing at your work. Share with each other, right? And then better prepare students for the job market. How many of you, the purpose of coming here is to get a new job or get a promotion? So most of you, right? How many of you going into PhD? Sorry, just none. Okay. So my goal there then is to give you insights into the job market, how to get that job, And, you know, in my previous classes, even undergrad, students came to kind of get advice on stuff like that, so I'm really open to it. You guys are at a safe place. I'm not going to tell on anyone. So, that's any questions? All right, thank you.